Hey everybody, welcome in. I am Julie Max from the Maine Stamper. I'm here for your weekly card class from Maine. It is Monday night. It is the last Monday of July, and I want you to make note it's the last Monday of July. Okay, so I repeated that twice. What's important about that is July 31st is Wednesday, and it's the last day that Stampin' Up! Is going to offer you a $5 coupon with your $50 order. So I want to make sure that you understand you have 3 days. Well, today's pretty much over, right? It's Monday at 8 o'clock on the East Coast. You have tomorrow and Wednesday, if you don't order tonight, to get those $5 coupons. So that's really important, and I wanted to make you aware of that because everybody wants to get those $5 coupons. Hi, Jess. Thanks for saying hi. I so much appreciate you letting me know I'm good to go. So thanks for tuning in. This is a tune-in night, so I'm glad that you guys are tuning in. We're actually using the Tune-In Bundle by Stampin' Up. This one's a little bit quirky and different. It is not everyone's cup of tea, and it has nothing to do with tea. It has something more to do with TV. So this bundle is about a television set. It's very classic. There's some great pun sentiments in there as well. Hi Donna, thanks for checking this out. I'm so glad you tuned in tonight. So we're going to have some fun, as we always do on a Monday night, with a card class. I'm going to share 4 different cards with you, and I'm going to offer these as a class to go, so you can get this class in your mailbox, USA Home. This week, if you place an order with me using my host code, all you have to do is place a $40 order. You're getting 4 card kits in the mail. Lots of things in the card kits. You've got some die cuts, some embossing, all kinds of things that you can pretty much just stamp a little bit and assemble, and you don't have to have the tune-in bundle, so don't worry about that. I'm actually going to share with you the cards that we did from my bingo event on Saturday. So if you follow me a little bit, you may have seen some of the peaks of the cards. I'm turning them around and I'm tuning them into the TV. So I'm going to actually share with you 2 different ways that you can use these card kits. Hi, Patty. Patty was at my camp for bingo. So Patty, these will look very familiar to you. So we are going to, hi Kathy, thanks for letting me know. We're going to be using the tune-in bundle, but I'm also going to share with you the bingo cards that we made. So the proof here is that these card kits, you can change them up so much and still use the bones of the pieces that I'm sending you. Hi Lois, you're going to have really great cards. So I'm glad you guys have all tuned in. I got some fans on here. I'm so excited. Hi Sandra, it's good to see you. We are going to be doing a few puns tonight. Thank you for tuning in to my tune-in show. And I'm going to get over to my workspace now so we can get going on all of the good stuff. Now, as we go tonight, this really is about the classic TV because that's what's in our stamp set. I have decided that if I could live in a classic television show, and I want you to comment with your favorite classic television show that you would like to live in if you could, like in Pretend World, right? I would choose I'd probably choose the Brady Bunch. That's my favorite classic TV show. But I also really like Happy Days. So I could go back and do that too, right? So I want you to comment with your favorite classic TV show that you could see yourself living in just for fun, right? So I can't wait to see what you guys are saying out there for your favorite shows. Now I'm going to ignore the comments for a little bit. We're going to get over to my workspace as soon as I find my button to flip me over to the other side. And we're going to talk about the tune-in bundle, and we're going to talk about all of the good stuff in the card class. I'm so excited about this. So this is the tune-in bundle. Now, this may not be something that you're super interested in, but it's okay because if it's not for everyone, there's other ways that you can use the card kits. And also, I want you to really think about this because I didn't pay a lot of attention until I started paying attention. There's some really cute things that people have done with this little television set. This is a photopolymer stamp set. You can see I've got 3 stamps left in here from the 10. And I've used all kinds of things. We've got some dies that go with it. I've seen people make a 3D box with the television on the front and the back of it, and they've stuffed it with some candy. I've seen people do a flip card with the TV, and I've seen people do a specialty card where you do the magic effect where you pull it out, pull a tab out on the side, and the message changes. So I'm interested in checking out some different ways that I can use this, but there are some really awesome things out there. I'm looking really quickly. We've got Gunsmoke, Martian, and Little House on the Prairie. Love that one too. Thanks for bringing me back in time because this is so awesome. So this is your classic TV, right? We don't have these anymore. We have all these fancy Walmart ones, wall mount ones. And then we have little feet here on here. So we've got your super, stay tuned for an important message, newsflash, happy birthday, and your classic. So there's some really cool little, and then this little antenna here, this old-fashioned antenna kind of reminds me of like either the top of a bug or a Martian head. I'm not sure. I just feel like there's other things you can do. If you want to check out some samples, they're on page 67 of the annual catalog, and there's a ton online. There's some really good stuff online, so don't miss out on those. So this is the Tune In card class. Thanks for tuning in. $40 order is going to get you the 4 card kits. These are what your card kits look like. So you've got some fun colors in here. You've got some fun colors in here. This is going to be a bright and fun card collection, right? We're using the Full of Life DSP. This one may not look quite as fun, but I assure you there is some fun paper in here. There's all kinds of stuff in this last one. Maybe a little bit of masculine Blackberry Bliss. So these are the card kits. There's 4 card kits that you're getting with your order using my host code YTBKEP7A. And a $50 order is going to get you the card kits plus the embellishment. Let's talk about the embellishment for just a second, because I love these Tinsel Gems 4 pack. You're actually getting 4 colors. You've got this almost yellowish color, pink, my favorite. Actually, I used it all up. I need to, seriously, I used it all up. I need more pink. Pink, blueberry bushel, and then this is kind of like a nice rich green. These would look great on Christmas cards, BTW. I love this green right here. It's kind of like a shaded spruce. We're focusing on, this class really focuses on Full of Life Designer Series paper. And if you haven't seen it yet, oh my goodness, it's way better than in the book. So we've got all kinds of fun, bright, bold, hopefully you can see here some of these great patterns as I flip through here. Now, when you get your card kits at home, I'm going to pretty much make them as close as possible to what I'm sharing tonight. But there are variations in some of these patterns. So you can kind of see here, if you look at some of them, you may get more of one color than the other, depending on how I cut the paper for you. But if you really, if you love this paper pack, I highly recommend you grab this. This is a great paper pack, obviously 6x6. So that is our fun deal for today. So we're going to get going on. Hi, Kelly. Good to see you. These will look familiar, but Kelly, I'm turning these into Tune In. I have the same bingo cards we did on Saturday, but I am switching it up. So this is going to give you more ideas on the layout of the cards you've already received. It's going to be awesome. Hi, Michelle. Oh, friends, that's another good one. All right, I got to stop looking at comments because I could talk to you guys all night and we're not going to get the card class in. We're going to start with our first card. Is going to be kind of simple. I didn't talk about the dies too much. Let's talk about the dies really quick. You've got the die that's going to cut out your TV set, right? You've got some different kind of standalone dies. This is the inside of the TV in case you want to make it so that you can put your message inside, you know, your happy birthday, your classic, all that good stuff. You've got some little Shazams here. I'm calling these Shazams, right? So you can either die cut these or stamp and die cut these little kind of like almost lightning bolts. You've got really some great stuff here. You've got little stars and such. And of course your antenna, so you can do your antenna, or you can just die cut an antenna and get the shape without stamping. So this really is kind of almost a set where you could just get the dies, substitute in your own sentiments, and you still have a lot of things here that you could do. And I'm going to show you some of that too. So let's get going on this. Really, this has been kind of a surprise for me that I would like it as much as I have. I guess I could say that. So here we go. We're going to do our first card kit, and we have some really great colors in here, and I'm going to be doing some die cutting with you because I didn't get that done ahead today. But this is a Melon Mambo base, and this is Peach Pie, and aren't they pretty together? I love these colors together. Like, I love them a lot. Let me show you the card that we're making, and we're going to talk about how we're making this from the Tune In stamp set. But we're not using TV. This is a TV list card. So I want you to see that you can use some of the dies from this die that goes with the stamps, right? And you don't even have to have a TV on here. So this may look a little familiar. I will show the bingo card at the end, but this may look a little familiar if you were hanging out with me for the bingo class. So what we're going to do first, I want to talk to you about the designer series paper you're going to get, right? So you're going to get something that's going to have a little bit of pink and a little bit of peach in here. That's kind of our background piece. And I wanted to show you the really amazing piece of like just little colors, like color blocks that this is coming from, this next piece that lays over top. So this is the piece right here. And I was talking to my girls at class and saying that it's really easier to just cut the squares out that you want rather than try to trim them at a dimension, because you have a bigger white border around one end. So I'm not even sure. I may even send you like a half a sheet of this designer series paper and let you trim your own squares, because it just might be easier for me to do that than to sit here and hand cut for you. So don't be, this might be like a bonus class where you're like, I'm gonna get all kinds of good stuff, because I have other surprises in mind as well. This is a good one to tune into, so thanks for tuning in. All right, so if I can get this to come off of here without looking at it really close to my face so I can see it. All right, there we go. So I just chopped off that little square so you can see it's easy to cut. And then I've got an extra white border around two sides, so I'm just gonna trim this down a little bit. And if it's not perfectly straight, it's really okay. It kind of hides well. And there we go, just like that. So aren't those cute? So you can count 5 squares across and 5 squares down, and you'll have that little square there for your card, just like so. So before I put this together, let's do the die cutting, because we're going to do a little bit of die cutting. These 3 pieces in your card kit, peach pie, melon mambo, and a little bit of white, are die cutting some things here that we're going to be using on our card. I'm going to move this aside because sometimes that is just too much slippery surface to be working on. So bringing in the big cutter here, and we're going to put all 3 things on the machine at once. Got my plates all set up for the die cutting portion, and from our dies we're going to use the inside TV die right here. So that's from the inside TV. We're going to use this cute little kind of a starburst pattern on the melon mambo, and then we're going to use this is kind of an interesting die right here. It kind of looks like boards all kind of together. So we're going to put these through the machine so you can see what it looks like when it comes out the other side. So here we go, checking it all out. All right, so this is going to be our little, this almost reminds me of like a jack from playing jacks. Talk about classic games, right? Playing jacks with the ball and the jacks, which I loved to do. We have our little, this is our sentiment piece. So not just a TV insert, but this is going to be our sentiment piece. So it's a different way to use some of these dies. And then we have these little kind of like slats, which if you did these in lots of colors, I mean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you ran this through 5 times with different colors, you're going to have that little kind of Technicolor, for going back in the days, right? When they tuned off for the night, TV doesn't even tune off anymore. When they tuned off for the night, if you were up late, you would see these slats of colors that would go across your TV. Oh, so let's pretend this is our TV screen. And you would see all these colors that would kind of go across. You could do these in different colors, right? And that's what this is meant to be, is the colors. So I would run this through different times, have your colors there. Hopefully you can see that. And that's what that's for. But we're not using this card right here. This first card is really not typical of what you might do with this particular set. So as you can see, I've used this insert for the TV as my sentiment piece. And I've stamped this in early espresso ink. I just have to find my ink now. We're going to dig through and find the ink. I'm also going to use some peach pie today. So let's find Happy Birthday. This is a really nice happy birthday sentiment, by the way. And this is a nice cheery happy birthday card. So we're going to go ahead and ink this up in early espresso. And we're going to stamp it right here in the middle of our TV screen or our sentiment piece, because it is either or. So there it is, happy birthday, just like that. And the early espresso is such a nice dark brown that it really lends itself nicely to actually being black in color, right? It's that dark, rich color. We're going to be talking about it a little bit later on when I use it again, and the reason why I chose that color over black, because you would think sometimes maybe you want black ink, but other times maybe not so much. So the only other thing that we're going to do with our, let me bring back in my little mat here, see if I can scoop these off the side of the table and then back on with the magic of television, right? Okay, kind of like that. I'm going to flip these around so they're right side up, because some of them got flipped over, I think, when I moved them. Okay, good enough, right? So I've got peach pie ink, and somewhere I have a peach pie dauber. And what I'm going to do, I'm just making sure you guys can see me. Okay, good. I'm just going to daub on a little bit of ink here. And it's giving me kind of like a splattered effect. So I'm not doing the entire piece. Actually, that's the wrong side. Let's redo that one. I thought it might be. I think I need new glasses, like really seriously. I just need to make an appointment. So hopefully you can see here that there's kind of like a splatter effect on here. And then once so it changes the color of the cardstock. Just a little touch there, just kind of neat, something different. So now we're going to do some assembly. Like, this is an easy peasy card. We're going to look for some glue. I should have had my glue ready, but I didn't. It's been one of those Mondays, really. Oh, look, a new one. We're going to go with it. I just grabbed a new one. I think my other ones are running low, so I probably threw this over here at some point, and future me, which is now me, is very happy that I did, because that would have been a nightmare if I ran out of glue. I love me some glue. Now, before I put this on here, I'm going to go ahead and decorate. You can decide pink at the top. You can decide orange at the top. I really like the pink at the top. So we're going to just, and you can also decide if you want to use the opposite side as well. So we're going to put this kind of at a crisscrossing pattern. Probably didn't want it that high. And then this is the same kind of thing where you can decide, maybe you want this side, which way do you want your squares to go? I kind of like the pink over here on this side. So we're going to kind of crisscross them here a little bit, just like that. I'm going to put this piece right here, this whole situation with, I'm going to add some dimensionals, and we're going to pop it on the card so this is raised up. And we're going to see how many dimensionals I feel like using here. Probably a lot. It's a bigger piece. It's not huge, but it's kind of big. So here we go. We're snagging all these little backings off, and then this is going to go on. We're going to make sure we know which way our card base opens, and this is going to come on right about here. So there we go. I love this look with the matted layers, of course, and the pretty colors for the matted layers. Now we're going to go in and bring in our little Technicolor, our little pieces here. Now, if this is something that you're like, that's just too much, Julie, I can't put all those things on one card. You don't have to. You can definitely leave some of this out. But if you want to, you know, try some different things and add a lot of fun elements to your card, depending on who you're giving it to, right? Sometimes you're giving a card to someone that is larger than life and you need a card with lots of things on it. So I'm just going to glue these down. I've used the smaller ones at the top because there's less room up here. As I take that one off, right? There's less room at the top than there is at the bottom. And I've kind of got them at a slanting pattern going upper left to lower right. So kind of coming down that way. You could choose to use all of them, none of them, some of them. I'm going to put that one over a little bit so I can keep going here. So this is my non-TV card. You might be looking at this. If you're tuning in late, you might be like, what are you talking about, TV cards? These are not cards with TVs on them. They are not. We're just using some of the elements from the set, and we are creating a non-television card. So if you have anybody that, you know, maybe they don't want the TV on their card, because there could be people out there that you wouldn't want to necessarily use it for, but there's other elements that are in these dies that are going to be really good on other cards as well. So I've got dimensionals on the back of my happy birthday. I'm going to put that right about here. And then for the Melon Mambo, I'm going to turn this over and I'm going to look for a mini dimensional, because the mini dimensional is going to fit on the back of this circle really nicely without me having to trim anything and without me having to, you know, have it show off the sides. And we're going to pop this on here. So it's kind of on our sign. It's a little bit on our paper. That is so, so pretty. And we need some bling on here, right? So the last thing we need is some bling, which we're going to grab from this beautiful pack of sweet little shiny gems. And I think I grabbed a couple from up top. So we'll put a couple up here. And then I ran out. I ran out before I could add any more. So I think I wanted to do a big one. Maybe I'll put it right down here. So I'm going to doctor up this guy over here too, because I like, seriously, the pink, gone. I used them all up. They're so fun to use. So here's card number 1. Happy birthday. A fun, cheery card for sure. And no TV in sight. This is the one where you just don't have any TV at all. So hopefully you can check these out and see them. Really fun. So you're going to get the card kits and you're going to get some of the pieces. Now you'll be die cutting these 3 elements yourself. But if you don't want to do that and you want to change it up and have it to be nothing whatsoever to do with the television, I want to show you the alternate card that we did at the bingo class. Because same card kit, I did add different paper in because we're not doing the heart. We're not doing the little pink hearts. And the card that's on the left, we used the Friends for Life bundle. It actually is in the suite with the Full of Life Designer Series paper. We did use Early Espresso on our sentiment. And we also used ribbon at our bingo event. All the attendees got a pack of the embellishment, half a pack of the Designer Series paper and the ribbon, plus we played games. Oh my gosh, it was so much fun. So we had a fun time. This is one of the cards that we made. And then I changed it up so that I could use it for the Tune In bundle today. So I'm just showing you that if you don't want to do anything with Tune In bundle, if you have a heart die, you have some hearts you could put on there, any sentiment's going to work, and you're going to have a really sweet card. So those are cards. The card number 1, some options. It shows you some options there on what you can do with them. So I hope you enjoyed card number 1. Now I'm going to clean down here for just a second and get to card number 2. Oh my gosh. Hi, Kay. Glad you're here. Yeah, Kelly, this was a lot of fun, wasn't it? I feel like we had some really great feedback on our class on Saturday. And Linda says she loves the heart. I do too. It's so pretty. All right, we're going to move on to card number 2. And we're going to get into something even more colorful. We're actually going to get into super color on this one. We're going techno color. In case we're done with black and white, we're not doing any more black and white TV here. This is going to have all kinds of spots and dots. We have a combination of Granny Apple, Daffodil Delight. Now this is going to come embossed with a So Swirly embossing folder, and you're going to get some DSP, you're going to get some pumpkin pie, you're going to get a little piece of silver foil, and then some more orange. So some of these are changed up from our class that we did at bingo, and we are going to make something a little bit more technicolor. So this is our card, and we are going to get into the TV time now. So we're going to use some of the dies from this set. You can see here where the silver is going to come into play, the silver foil, and we're making a really colorful card that says Your Classic. So let me just make sure I am in sight over here. Vat loves card number 1. Thank you. Okay. Looking good here. All right, just checking it out. So before we do our stamping and die cutting and what have yous, I am going to put away these 3 pieces, and we're going to just focus on the bones of the kit, as I like to call them. So the bones of what you're getting is basically what you can do with it when you get it. So if you're not doing tune-in bundle, you can do other things, and I will show you the other thing that we made with our bingo card kits as well. So this is all cut for you ahead of time, so you can decide if you want the more orange side facing up or the yellow side facing up, or if you want to just change it up completely, you can definitely do so. And if you get the Full of Life DSP, you have a lot of options. All of these colors in these card kits go really well, so you can change them up and do whatever you like. Make it a little different, right? Make it unique. I got a little extra glue there. I'm going to pick that up with my finger, and then everything will stick to me. Ooh, look how pretty. This is really pretty too, right? Again, depending on what cuts you're getting, you may have some different patterns that you might want to play with. Ooh, you know what? I'm wondering if I really do want to play with these different patterns, because sometimes I change things up. I'm going to try it. Let's be bold today. We've got some bold colors here. Let's be bold. I'm going to try it. We're going to see. This is the case where Julie likes to change things up live, and then she never really knows what it's going to turn out like. So thanks for tuning in live, because it could be great, or it could be like, oh no, that wasn't such a great idea. You just never know with me. So I'm going to go ahead and flip these over. We're going to put dimensionals on the back of this so that we can pop that onto our card nicely. So we'll just do, we'll probably do more than I anticipate. We'll do 5. 5 per. I go through dimensionals kind of like I go through chocolate, which means a lot, because I love me some chocolate. So speaking of snacky foods, we talked a little bit earlier in the comments about what classic TV show we would like to live in if we had opportunity. Let's talk about what snack you like to eat while watching classic TV, right? So of course, popcorn is very classic. If you're watching some good stuff, you might want some popcorn, but I'm going to recommend chocolate. Can't go wrong with chocolate. So I'm going to pop these onto my card base, and I'm leaving the purple side at the top because that's really pretty. I do like the purpley side. We're adding lots of colors here, which is awesome. And we're kind of putting these side by side. You can center them if you want to. You can leave them over one way or the other. Totally up to you. In fact, I really didn't even pay attention when I put these on this card base. So they're almost centered, but not quite. And I'm okay with that. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do some die cutting with these pieces. Now we're just using the dies first. Oh, you know what? There should have been a white 2 by 2.5 in this. So maybe we'll grab this out real quick. 2, not quite 2.5. I'm going to trim this up a little bit. So I must have not put one in here. I'm using my mat like upside down, and I'm going to just go, this is about 2.5 right here. So, and I will fix this as needed. So we're going to need this, but first we're going to die cut. So let me move things aside, and we are going to die cut some things so you can see what exactly we're die cutting to make this beautiful TV situation in front of us. So I'm going to put this back on here. This is Lemon Lime Twist, which is really close in color to, oops, I don't need that, Julie. It's really close in color to Granny Apple. In fact, it's so close in color to Granny Apple that I pulled it by accident when I was making this card. I intended this TV to be Granny Apple, and I didn't realize my faux pas until it was already done. I was like, oh my goodness. So there you go. Granny Apple or Lemon Lime Twist will work perfectly. This piece right here, this die, is going to die cut out 3 different pieces. We're going to do this with our little foil, which you'll see here in a minute as I get it through the machine. So we've got the TV, we've got our Shazam little flamies, and we have the foil pieces. Hi, Betsy. You going to get comfortable in my craft room? I don't know if you heard her shake her head or not, but she is in the craft room today. I left my door open on purpose so that she could come and visit me tonight. Hopefully the cats do not come and visit me, because then it's a little bit trickier. The dog's usually okay if she settles down and behaves herself. So these teeny tiny little pieces that are on here, I'm going to kind of scrape them aside for right now so I can get this out of the way. So we one die cut, 3 different pieces. Oh my gosh, I didn't even show you the card yet. You guys are probably screaming at me at home. Like, we have no idea what you're making, Julie. We're just along for the ride. And there are no, I assure you, there are no commercial breaks here during the class. So here we go. Let's talk. Oh, I did show you this. I'm losing my marbles today. So this is what we were making, and we did flip the designer series paper already. So this is our TV. I totally forgot to die cut the insert. So that means we can go back through and do it again. Not completely, but. So if you wanted to, you could die cut the TV and the window at the same time, which is probably what I meant to do, but I did not. So we're going to put these little pieces aside. We're going to bring in the die cutter one more time, and we're going to cut out that little window that we need out of the TV so that we can make it fancy. Now, when you do the window, you do want to line it up, especially if you're just using the dies and not stamping it. You want to kind of have this little window closer to the top so you can fit that silver, the silver attachments, let's call them attachments, toward the bottom of the TV. So it'll be not quite, centered is where I'm going with that. So you can kind of see here, there's less at the top and there's more at the bottom. And that's so that we can get those different pieces on there. Now this could be another sentiment piece. So set that aside and save it. That's a good little, almost rectangle. It's kind of a nice rounded rectangle. And we're going to glue on our little pieces here. So you got this like almost like a little silver grate. And I actually attached this with tear and tape because there's little slots through this. And I felt like if I put this on with glue, it would goop out these little slots, and because it's perforated, and I didn't want my glue oozing out. So I went ahead and put this on, and I went this way with it. So kind of like right in the middle-ish, right? And just like that. So it's on there with some tear and tape. Now these teeny tiny little knobs right here are somewhere on my surface, I'm sure. And if not, we'll figure it out. I know there's one here. I can see one. So I'm going to go ahead and just dab a little dot of glue there. Pick this up with my take your pick tool and then pop this on here. Just like that. My tool is sticky, so it wants to stay on the tool. All right, so you get the idea. If I can't find the other one, it will go there later on in the future, when future me finds the other one, because I don't know where it went. I have my Shazams here. Oh, there it is, under my Shazam. Okay, let's do this. A little tiny dot of glue. Ooh, that was a little excessive. We're going to grab a scrap, and we're just going to kind of swipe some of this up a little bit. Make it a little bit less, because I'm not doing a very good job at this. So too much glue. We'll just grab some of that off of there. Hopefully that works. And this is way easier to use the take your pick tool, this little putty end, than it is to try to hold this with your fingers, because it's really tiny. And then I'm just gonna adjust that a little bit. So there's our little TV. Isn't that awesome? Now you might be wondering how we're getting all this great color on the back of our TV. We're going to do some coloring with this little piece of white, which I kind of hand trimmed. Yours will not be hand trimmed. You're going to have some great cardstock there to work with. So let's bring this in, and we're going to just bring in some Stampin' Blends, and I have a variety of them. You can definitely choose whichever ones you want. In fact, I made one earlier and I used these colors. So you can kind of see here where I'm going with the whole like scribbling of the papers. So I'm going to continue with, I like the purple. So I decided to bring in, this is Dark Berry Burst. I'm actually going to use, and I hardly ever use the brush end, but as long as you're going sideways with it and not hitting it like straight down on the nib, if you're not squishing this tip down on your paper this way, you're good to go. So I'm going to do that one. Then I'm going to do some, I think this is Dark Highland Heather. So again, the brush end right here, this doesn't have to be perfect, but if you are somebody that's like, I need to have exact lines, definitely go ahead and measure them. We're going to put in a little bit of Daffodil Delight. This is the light color. This is one where my nib is like really kind of destroyed. So it's really hard to even do this, but for the little bit of yellow I use, I figured I can make it work. Now we're bringing in Summer Splash. This one is light Summer Splash. Again, so if you're doing this at home, you can make these whatever colors you want. You can make them different widths if you want to, because it doesn't matter. And then this is Poppy Parade. This is light. So I just chose some random colors that I thought would be bright and fun. Just like this is all you need to do. Scribble and go. That's my coloring jam right there. All right, so now when I put this on here, I may need to adjust my TV screen, because I can see here that I need to go farther to the top. Unless I come down, which could work. If I come down, my thought process is we're going to have this on the back of it. So I made the paper big enough for that. What if I trim this a little bit? This is live TV, and Julie's attempting some really wild stuff today. I'm just kind of in that zone, I guess. I'm going to put a little more purple in there. If you got a weird message, so somebody scammed my page today, my Maine Stamper Facebook page, and they offered people like, click this link for prizes. Congratulations, you won. That was not me. Someone stole my profile picture, and they were talking to some of my friends on Facebook like they were me, which was not. And I had a couple of people reach out to me and say, is this you? This sounds fishy. I'm like, it sure is fishy. I would never do that. You're going to know from me if something's going on like that. So definitely be careful online, because people are awful. Let me just say that. Some of these scammers are awful. All right, so I have my little Shazams here. We die cut these in pumpkin pie, and you're going to see here that these ones over here, they have like a little bit of a darker outline on them. I used my Poppy Parade blend. This is light. I'm using the nib end. This is my favorite end, and all I did on each of these, it would be really hard to see. There's like a little ledge that goes around the outside where the die cut kind of hits these. I just basically took my Stampin' Blend and kind of colored around there. It's not exact in any kind of manner, so don't like think you have to like you know, be like perfect at this. If it goes out one way or the other, it's kind of like when you sponge your edges of things. It's probably really hard to see while I'm holding them. They're tiny also. So just go around the outside edges, just with your, you can use a marker if you have the Stampin' Right markers. And it adds that little bit of dark color around it. So hopefully, I don't know if my camera will adjust or not, but hopefully you can kind of see that. So it really changes it up. It makes them a little bit bolder for sure, which is fun. And now we're going to finish our assembly process here. So I taped the back of this with some tear and tape. I didn't tape every edge. It's okay. I'm going to be gluing this down onto here. Look at, oh my gosh, it's almost like blending in with all these colors. Oh, we didn't stamp it with the sentiment. Let's hope I don't mess this up. You know what, if I do, I'm going to pull the back off and we're going to start over. But we're going with your classic. And somewhere I still have my early espresso ink. Now, the reason I didn't use, my first thought was to use Memento black ink to do the sentiment, which you can see here kind of looks black. This is early espresso, and the reason I'm using it is that this ink right here seems to be so much more absorbent. Of course, the pad's totally different, right, than your Memento ink. Totally different ink pads. And I thought this great ink pad, which is bouncy and juicy, is going to be perfect. I won't have to worry about not getting it all on there and trying to fill it in and what have you. So let's, now that I say that, let's make sure this works. So I'm stamping this. I'm really low. I see that on my camera. I'm going to raise this up in just a second. We'll come this way a little bit. Sorry about that. Okay, your classic, just like that. Now, if I needed to fill in, we have the Stampin' Right markers that has the same ink as our ink pads. So I could, if I needed to, which I'm fine with how it looks, go ahead back and fill that in. If you were to stamp that in Memento and it messed up a little bit and it left some spaces that didn't get inked, you'd need one of those platforms where you could stamp repeatedly with Memento to get a good coverage, or you need to start over. So that's why I chose this color of the ink. Now, when I put this on my card, I'm going to remove the tear and tape backing because I'm not popping this on dimensionals. You can do so if you wanted to. You could pop this back up. We're also going to add in some extra glue because there's nothing adhesive here on the top end, and we'll just glue a little bit right here. So we're going to put this down on our card, and you can center this if you want to. You can leave it to one side or the other, and we're going to add in our little Shazams now. And these are going to go in. You can obviously put them wherever you want, but I kind of put them around the words, your classic. I stamped that a little bit higher than my first card. Let's see if that'll stay there. And then we've got a little side ones. And then we're going to throw on a few embellishments, and this is going to be card number 2 in the book. So I am looking at this and thinking I might like the polka dot version better because I feel like it's brighter and funner, but maybe it's too bright, so maybe the other one is better. I'm not even sure. And there's so many color options in this pack. If you have this setup, you can definitely change it up. We're going to add in some embellishments. I'm going to continue to use what I have left on this sheet, and we're going with this kind of yellow color embellishment. Looks like I did one kind of in the middle over here, and then I did two, one top and one bottom of the smaller. So I used the large one in the middle, 2 smaller ones, just like that, and Shazam, your classic. So just like that. And I need to know which one you like better. Do you like the classic, which was this one with the dots and spots and what have you, or do you like the changed up version, which is more kind of, oh, you know what else we forgot? I'm having a night here. I forgot to sponge the edges of my TV. So there's a big difference right there as well. So I sponged the edges of this TV in Granny Apple Green, even though this is Lemon Lime Twist. So this is really dark. Almost looks more tie-dyed over here. This classic TV here, it doesn't have any extra little sponging on it at all. So there's another big difference. So there's a lot of differences in these cards. I really changed it up quite a bit. And I only did that part out of omission from forgetfulness, not from, I didn't like it on the first card and I just, you know, like that. So let me pop over and just make sure you guys are still hanging out with me. Oh my gosh. Oh, Junior Mints and M&Ms. Those both sound good. Oh, Donna wants cheese. Nice. Cheese and crackers is very popular. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. I'm glad you guys are liking the changed up version. Even better. Cool, cool, cool. Yes, that is so awesome. All right, so that's card number 2, where we did a little Technicolor on our own. So you can see how you can cut out the TV here. Now we're going to stamp some TVs. We haven't done any stamping with TVs yet, and I didn't show you the other one. I didn't show you the other one that we made. So this is the one that we made at our bingo event. So hopefully my camera's here, you can see this. So we basically same layout. Of course we added ribbon because we had ribbon there. I used the 2" and the 1 3/4" punches, and we have Happy Birthday that's stamped in Granny Apple. And then we use the Pocket Thoughts stamp set. It goes with like a mini pocket die. This is the cupcake. It's 2-step stamping. So we stamped it first in Granny Apple, and I stamped it after that in, I've forgotten, maybe Balmy Blue. If anybody was at camp and you remember what color we used here, it might have been Lost Lagoon. I think that might be Lost Lagoon. And we added some little gems here. So you could take this card kit when you get it at home, omit the television if you're not interested in the television, and then just add in some punched pieces, maybe a cupcake, maybe a butterfly. There's lots of things you can do with this kit that are going to be super clever and cute. So you're going to have so many different ideas when you get these card kits. Cupcake for the win. Linda loves a cupcake. I did too. That was a really fun card. This was a fun card that we made, but you can see, of course, the colors and how pretty and colorful all of these cards are. All right, so card number 2 is done. I'm going to set that one aside. We're going to move on to card number 3. Card number 3. And we're going to start oohing and ahhing over the cards. Let me find the card kit first. This one, if you're a fan of purple, this is your card right here. We got some berry colors. We've got some pinks and berries and blues and all these good things right here. So I'm going to take this apart so we can check out parts and pieces that you're getting in your card kit. So you're getting some DSP, Blackberry Bliss base. These are from the Spotlight on Nature dies, which highly recommend these. These are awesome circles with the details. And then you're going to get some things that you're going to do some die cutting with while we continue to create with Tune In. So let me check out my little Tune In card here. I'm going to bring this one up here so you can see that I've got a TV here in Berry Burst, and then we've got this is a Happy Birthday sentiment built into the TV here. I've used my gems on these little buttons on the TV, and then we did the antenna in sparkly pink paper, which I think is really fun. So this is the card that we're going to make next. We're going to put together the bones again. Once again, we're going to put together the bones of the card. We're going to make the TV and do all that good stuff. Look how pretty. I think somebody used this. I feel like Cindy Fish used this side on her card when she did this at bingo. And it was always fun to see if people changed it up a little bit and what they came up with. So we're just going to mat this designer series paper onto the white cardstock right here. And then this one's going to come right across our card front, our card base. And some adhesive here. Remembering which way it opens, and then deciding which side you want the darker color to be on. So I'm going to go this way. So my darker color is over to the right, lighter color to the left. Really pretty. I love these blues and these pretty colors together. And we're going to kind of do the same thing here with this other piece of designer series paper. Again, options. This is gorgeous paper. You can't go wrong. I feel a change coming. I think I might change this up again too, because I like to see what you guys think. So I think I will change this time, since the TV is going to come over here. We're not going to use the starburst pattern. So this is the starburst kind of pattern. And once this is on here, if you use this side, you can decide if you want it to go this way on your card front, this way on your card front. You can see that from this one, I used it in this orientation. A lot of fun, but you know what? Let's just be crazy today. So if I'm focusing, I'm going to actually glue this side down instead of the opposite one. We got this great marble paper and the pinks and the blues. So we're going to put this down next, and I'm looking. I did put that on dimensionals. Sometimes I forget. Sometimes I forget a lot of things as I'm doing these classes. I just go on. You know what the thing is though, is that really makes every card a little bit more unique than the last one, because if you're changing it up, I'm going crazy with dimensionals tonight. That's a good thing. You don't necessarily need to make, 5 of the same cards. Change them all up a little bit, and then if someone gets the card and maybe you forget that you sent that to them, and they get another card a while later that's very similar but not the same, right? That's the key. It's not the same. All right, so here's some of the bones of our card kit. We're going to bring in our circles next. I'm going to just glue these together. Now if you weren't using the TV at home and you wanted to just use this part of your card kit, you could stamp on this and do some other things, and we're going to put that right on there just like that. So I'm going to just glue this down. put that right there. And my throat's really dry. I was training a new girl at work today in the office, and I was talking all day long. Like, I talk a lot, but holy moly, I can feel my voice is not happy tonight. So I apologize if I get going on all that, because it was a long day for me. We're going to bring in the TV stamp. We haven't used the TV stamp yet. And we're doing Blackberry Bliss, if I can find it, right here. And we're going to go ahead and stamp our TV in Blackberry Bliss on Berry Burst. So we're doing a darker color ink on a color paper. So you always want to go a little bit darker, right, so that you can see your image. So you're getting this paper at home to work with however you want. We happen to be doing this today. So here is our television. Isn't that cute? I think it's really cute once you get going with it. All right, so we're going to leave that out. We're going to come back to that in a minute. I think I need to clean up my stamp here, because we are going to use this one more time in another color tonight. All right, so here we go. We have die cutting to do. So we're going to get some dies out. We're going to do some die cutting together. So this time I do have the scrap of white, which I forgot from the other one. We're going to do this, and then we're going to do our little antennas with this little shiny paper and our little antenna guy here. So let me bring in my die cutting machine. We'll get these die cut, get this guy assembled so you can see what it looks like. And here we go. Let's bring in all of the pieces, and then I'll arrange them over here so we can get them all through at the same time. Okay, this is the glimmer paper. This is In Color shimmer paper, I believe it's called. The new colors. All right, let me think about this. We're going to move the TV up. We're rearranging our furniture. We're moving the TV up onto the plate a little bit. See if I can get that on there. Our TV screen, our antenna. Okay, everybody's on board. We're going to go ahead and die cut this. So I put the die through that had a stamped image first. So as it went through the machine caught this one first. So I had a better chance of getting a good image before anything wiggled and squiggled on the back end, which sometimes will happen when you're trying to die cut stamped images. And of course, there's different ways you can work around that. I like to use the mint tape. That's kind of like a green tape. I get it online. There's washi tape, there's post-it note tape, there's all kinds of ways that you can get your dies stuck around your stamped image so you don't have like some issues on there. All right, so we have here, I'm just moving some things aside here so I can find all my parts and pieces. Let's bring this all back in. Make sure we're in camera sight here. Here's our card again. And we're going to go ahead and bring in the Blackberry Bliss because we're going to do a couple things with it. I see ink here, and I'm probably going to end up with that on my finger, and it's probably going to end up on a card somewhere. I'll clean up my ink pad a little bit. Okay, and that's where my baby wipes come in. I do not use them on my stamps, but I do use them on the ink pads. I'm looking for, you can see me focusing, right? You guys are tuning in and seeing me you might need to move your antenna a little bit so you can see better. Okay, we're bringing in Pretty in Pink, and we are going to do, I'm going to put this aside. I've got this little, not even really sure what to call this. It's definitely a background stamp. So I'm going to stamp it once full strength. I'm going to stamp off and get kind of a lighter version here. The lighter version is almost so light you can't see it, but it is on here. So we've got a little bit of a mix of full ink, second generation ink, just like that. So it kind of gives us, the TV screen isn't quite as white anymore. I'm bringing in Blackberry Bliss and the Happy Birthday. Because this is a nice dark color, it's going to go right over top of that light pink color, and you're still going to be able to see that really well. Now this time I'm going to remember to go ahead and sponge the edges of my television. We're not going to use Blackberry though, we're going to use Berry Burst. So we're getting in all those great berry colors. So we're going to do this. sponge dauber. We're just going to come in and add a little bit of outline here. It just adds some interest. It kind of draws your attention to it a little bit more as well. And it makes it just not so flat, like it's just stamped and on cardstock and then like really boring looking, really. So we're just doing that. I meant to do that on a different card with a granny apple. Totally skipped that part. But that's okay, right? All these things happen. Okay, so now we're going to just go ahead and put our TV screen right onto, we're going to do this on here flat, right onto this spot on the TV. Think of the messages you could put out. You could do it's a girl, it's a boy, pink and blue, right? Do all kinds of fun things with this set, really. I feel like it's good for, this obviously is kind of more feminine because it's got lots of great purpley pink colors in it, but you could definitely do this as a masculine card as well. You're going to see me put a couple of dimensionals right over here, and that's because I'm going to put this TV on just like this, and I just want to make sure that's going to get covered up. So I'm going to take my dimensionals off, and that's just going to help everything kind of flow across my card here. And then I need glue on this end. And then we're going to put this on here just like this. You can adjust your TV screen to whatever setting you like. I like the Hallmark channel. That's my channel. I watch Hallmark a lot. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to put a little bit of glue on the back of our antenna. Just not too much, right? A little bit of glue on here because it's a small piece. And we're going to pop this on here. And again, you can adjust the antenna a little bit if you want up higher, up, down, lower, what have you. And then look at how cute. So this is before we get those little gems on here. Hopefully you can see here how flat and boring this looks, but we put those little gems on here in pink, of course. And it's going to just be fantastic. I'm using the larger size. It fits right into that little circle for the TV buttons. And it's just so much fun. And that's it. This is the card. Now, I changed this up, so I need you to vote again because I love when you vote. This is the original for the class. This is the tune-in class, right? And then this is the changed up version. And you know what? I think I like the changed up version better on this one. So I can't wait to see what you guys are thinking of this happy birthday card. And while you're doing that, I want to show you how beautiful the card is that we did from bingo class. So I did keep this is the same paper, it's just a different section of it. So some of your paper in your kit may be more purple and some of it may be a little bit more blue. So you can kind of see the variations here. So we did our stamping right on this white circle that's coming in your card kit. And then we use the sketched butterfly dies, and we have these in pretty and pink with some pink gems and a little bit of ribbon. And the butterflies, of course, are going to win because they're so lovely. Like, who doesn't love the butterflies? So I just want to show you that these card kits are going to work no matter what you're going to use. So you don't have to put the TV on here. You're going to get these dies so you can stamp, you can put your butterflies, you can do whatever you want on here. So we've got the Spotlight on Nature dies, the sketched butterfly dies, and they are side by side in the catalog. So that is a look at card number 3. Oh, the colors on here are gorgeous. I really love this. This is my favorite so far. I'm glad you guys like the changed up version too. Thanks, guys. You guys are liking the changed up. This is a perfect example. I'm glad I'm feeling changed up today. So this is card number 3. We're going to jump into card number 4. Our last card already. Can you believe it? Wow. Where did this class time go? So the last card kit is a little bit of a fun fold, but it's a really super easy fun fold and super simple. Now, this one, I think I like the TV version better than the bingo version. So I'm just going to go there with that. We're starting with a piece of blueberry bushel. This is 5.5 by 4.25. So it's a quarter sheet of cardstock, and we have a matted layer of white, and you're getting an embossed piece, a die cut piece. You're getting all kinds of good stuff here. This is going to come with your card kit. It's going to be scored. I'm going to go ahead and score this in half. So let me show you the card that we're making because it's really super cute and I love it. Okay, Linda says she likes the last one. I do too. All right, so this is the card we're making. Isn't this cool? Stay tuned for an important message, please, because the important message is, I actually did the inside on this one. You're super. How cool is that? So this is our fun fold. So you can see here, this is just, it's not really a card base. It's a quarter of a card sheet of cardstock. And then this is the opening section, and definitely can decorate inside to match. This one I really, really like. This would be a really great, birthday card for a guy, Father's Day card. This one is fabulous. So we're going to go ahead and put the bones together, and then I'm going to show you all of the things about this card kit. And of course, I'm going to show you the bingo version too. So hang out for a few more minutes. We're gonna get to all the cards. This one's going to go together really fast. We're just going to layer these on. We're going to layer these on too, and you can decide if you want the yellow at the top or the bottom. I think I'm going to change it up. You can change up your paper if you like the back side better. You can do that too. So I'm going to go ahead and put the yellow at the bottom on this one, and we're just putting this on here so we're matting our designer series paper on the edge there of the white cardstock. So it just kind of helps everything to pop. So there we go. And there's no like right or wrong way on this one, because really if I change my mind right now, I could flip it over, but I'm going to go this way. And then we're going to bring in our little card base here, and we're going to stamp the inside first. I feel like if you stamp the inside first, probably a better idea before you glue it down, just in case you doesn't quite work out as intended, and then you can definitely change it up. So I'm going to bring in Blueberry Bushel. Let's see, we're going to need gotta find my ink colors here. Blueberry Bushel, and I used crushed curry on this one, so a little bit of a different color here. I felt like the crushed curry was more closer to the DSP. So we're doing your super in Blueberry Bushel. I'm going to put it like right in the middle here. Ooh, that turned out super. I love it. And then we're going to close up Blueberry Bushel, and we're going to bring in crushed curry. So these cute little stars, basically, and there are die cuts for these too. So you can just pop some here on the top, pop some here on the bottom, however you want to do it. Aren't they cute? Like, that just makes it really fun. It's fun to do this little extra stamping things. All right, so now we can glue this down to our card base. So this is already scored for you. So it's going to fit on here perfectly between both of the white sections, and we're going to center it between the designer series paper. So you just need to put the glue on the back. One more time, Julie wants to make sure she's putting glue on the back because it's that kind of a day. And we're going to go ahead and do that, and then we're going to put it on here again, centering it in the designer series paper, and then top and bottom it's going to match up with the white layer that you've got on there, and then it's going to open just like this, and that is so awesome. Now we're going to add in our emboss piece. This is the Dashing Designs embossing folder, which has been really quite popular. When I use it, people are like, oh, what is that? We like it. This is also, I feel like it's a little bit masculine in nature. I mean, obviously you can make it however you want, but I feel like it kind of lends to be a little bit masculine. This is from the Nested Essentials dies. You're getting this die piece too. So right here, we're going to put this right in the middle. Just gluing that on flat. So this is the bones of your card. So you would have this to work with at home. You could stamp whatever you want on the inside, smudge if you want to, that's optional, and then you're good to go. You can put whatever you want on the outside. Now we happen to be putting stay tuned for an important message. So let's bring in our smoky slate cardstock that you're getting with your kit, and we're going to stamp the TV in Blueberry Bushel, and I think this color combination is really awesome. So where did I put my TV? Here it is. Okay, lost my TV for a minute. Usually you're losing the remote, right? Not the actual whole TV. I think, now that I'm thinking about this, my opinion, they should have put a remote in this stamp set. That would have been really cool too, right? To have a remote in there. How fun is that? All right, so here's our little TV, beautiful and perfect. And we are going to go ahead and we're going to die cut some more things too. Now, this time when we die cut the TV, I'm going to do it the proper way because we do want that cutaway in our television so that we can get our message in here as well. So here we go. We're going to do start to finish, TV, some stars. Actually, I'm going to cut this in half. You can cut this in half too because you're going to do the star die. These cute little stars right here. So this is like an open die, and you're going to do this twice. I know you can't see this just quite perfectly yet, but so the yellow there, we're going to do nope, we're going to do it this way. We're not going to cut it out of here. I'm looking. Nope, we're not doing that. We're just going to cut on the white. I totally spaced out on that one. Space shows. Okay, so we got that all set up. One die cut through, and then of course if you wanted more of those little yellow stars, which I did 2 passes through the Big Shot here, my die cutting machine, with the stars, but I did some earlier, so I have a few left over, so I don't have to quite do that again. Because we're coming down to the end here. All right, so here's our cute little stars. Again, you'll have this extra piece of crushed Kerry cardstock to do that twice with. And let me just set my dies aside so I don't throw them in the garbage accidentally, because that does happen, right? You're throwing out your paper scraps and then there goes the dies. Let's take this off here and get rid of the plates. We're all done die cutting today. We did it. All right, so we are going to do, oh, my TV is a little crooked, but that's okay. We're going to do our message on here. Stay tuned. Stay tuned for an important message. We're going to do that in the blueberry bushel. This is going to come on here. And it almost looks like it won't fit, but it does. It just fits. Stay tuned for an important message. Okay, so that's a good one. And then we're going to bring in some smoky slate. And we're going to be a little aggressive with our sponging because you can see here that, hopefully you can see here the difference on the TVs. It's almost like night and day, right? So I've sponged this pretty well with a blending brush and smoky slate, which is right here. Let's bring back smoky slate, blending brush. So earlier I was just using the sponge daubers. This time I'm going to be a little bit more aggressive with the ink color here, because I really want this to be a little bit darker, but also kind of not complete. I mean, you could use darker cardstock, right? I like the varying tones when you do the blending brushes and the ink techniques. So it's okay to go into the TV set here, into this part, because we're going to be gluing on our important message right here. So there we go. That kind of helps a little bit that it's a little crooked, you know. Every little bit helps, right? So we're going to glue this together for our TV message, our important message. Stay tuned for an important message. And remember, I'm not spamming and scamming here on the Maine Stamper page. So don't fall for that stuff, please. All right, look I ran through so many dimensionals today. I'm delegated to the chopping up of the bits so that I can throw some dimensionals on here randomly and pop up my TV. Oh, I didn't cut that one. It's like a whole row across. We're going to do this. We're going to just make some modifications here. So we just get a little loose and fancy when we have those outside edges, because I just tend to chop and go. So we're putting our TV on. We're going to glue on our little stars here. We're going to add in our little knobs with blueberry bushel embellishments. Now some of these little pieces right here, because this is already raised up a little bit, I was able to sneak a star. This is one of the bigger ones. I was able to sneak it kind of underneath here a little bit, just under the TV, kind of popping up this way. And I have some other stars that I die cut earlier. So I did use a couple of the big ones and some of the small ones. I don't know what just fell on my TV, but hopefully it's nothing that's going to leave a smudgy. There we go. So you can go ahead and throw these on here. A little bit of extra glue. Swipe that up. And then I'm just going to put a little glue like right here. Hopefully a little bit. And make sure your stars are facing nicely so the die cut part looks good and not the back side. Okay, I'm just going to throw a little bit more glue on here. My glue is not participating nicely tonight. We'll put one like right there. Okay, hopefully we're good. We're going to pop stars. Now you're going to have extra if you die cut twice. You still have stars. You can throw them on the inside. You know, do whatever with them. You can add more to your card if you want to. I felt like 5 was a good number, so we have a couple left over. We're going to bring in the blueberry bushel, the bigger gems here. Remember, this is your free gift this week with your $50 order, plus you're getting a $5 coupon from Stampin' Up! For your August order, so you have only a few more days left to get that $50 order in to get your coupon that you can use technically this week. You could actually order twice if you wanted to, or you can wait and use those coupons anytime in August. They are good on, you can use them on, like you can use them if you've got 5 of those coupons, you can use them all on one order, which is really fantastic. So there is stay tuned for an important message. Now the only difference here is that I have yellow at the bottom and at the top. So I kind of like it with the yellow at the bottom because I've got the yellow stars up at the top. So I'm glad I made that change. So a little bit different for sure. Now let's take a look at the, I love the colors. They're so bright and fun. This is the one that we did at bingo. Now this one we used the, of course we had ribbon again. So I have a happy birthday sentiment on here. This is the translucent florals. We did the flower and blueberry bushel, and this green is in shaded spruce. And I did not decorate the inside of this one, but it is the same idea. So you can see here that the card kit works with whatever you want to put on it. You've got this great little die cut piece here. This Nested Essentials comes with your kit. You can use whatever. You could put a butterfly in here. You could put a boat on here. This is kind of more of a masculine card, I feel like. You could put whatever you want. So these are the card kits you're getting, and I wanted to share with you some different ideas so that you could see that even if you don't want, like maybe you're like, oh, I don't want the tuned in bundle. Why do I want these card kits this week? You want these card kits this week because you can change it up. Use what you have at home and make some really pretty cards. Plus you definitely want to get in on those $5 coupons they're leaving the building soon. So here again is kind of a look at our cards. You can see how bright and colorful they all are. They're so pretty. I really love playing with the Full of Life Designer Series paper. Was such a treat. We had so much fun, and so I wanted to offer these really great card kits to you, but I always like to share just one bundle. I didn't want to come on here and go like, you need 4 different bundles to make these card kits at home. You really don't. And this was a really great opportunity for me to also share with you that oh my gosh, I'm reading Sandra Johnson's comment. They couldn't have a remote because they weren't invented yet. Sandra, light bulb moment. Of course they weren't invented yet. This is so true. We had, when I was a kid growing up, we had the up on the roof, the antenna, and we'd have the little box with the dial, and you would like change it to try to like move your antenna east, west, south, north, whatever, so that you could watch the 4 channels that we got in. 3 on a good day, 4 when we were lucky. So yes, you're right. This would not be like a remote kind of situation. We were pretty remote in what we had for our televisions, weren't we? So this is your card class for this week. Thank you guys for tuning in and checking it out. I know it went a little bit long, but I wanted to share with you also, not just the cards with the tune in, but the card kits themselves with the alternate ideas that you can use with whatever products you have at home. Thanks, Kelly, for your kudos. I love it. If you guys have any questions on any of the cards, please let me know. I'll be sharing pictures of these on my Facebook page this week, and sending out some emails if you're on my email list, so you'll see some things with this card class for the week. I will be sharing a brand new card using the Full of Life DSP on Thursday. That'll be in your email. You'll have a card recipe in your email every Thursday. I give you one that you haven't seen yet, and I always show you the card on Friday. So if you haven't signed up by Thursday, you're going to miss the recipe. I don't usually go backwards. So Michelle said she had aluminum foil on the rabbit ears. Isn't it great to reminisce about the good old days, right? That's so cool. Well, I appreciate you guys tuning in, and I'm going to tune out and clean up my craft room. It's a little bit messy, and I will see you guys again soon. Now don't forget, Wednesday's your last day to get those $5 coupons, so I appreciate your time and attention today. All right guys, I will read comments through. I can't wait to see what your favorite retro TV show is and what snacks you're going to eat while you watch it. All right everybody, thank you again so much. Until next time, stay inspired, create something beautiful, and share the love. Bye everybody.